Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having an awesome day, and today's video is finally, oh my god, finally the living room makeover video. I cannot tell you how enormous of a project this was when I didn't think we were doing a living room makeover to begin with. Hear me out, this is a huge faux brick DIY project, as well as updating some built-ins that came with the original house, and I am super excited to share this project with you today. So before we get into it, I do want to give a quick shout out to my small business, theopencrypt.com. You know, YouTube views are not what they once were, especially for this type of video where it is an expensive project to take on that I was not ready for. So if you want to support my small business and help support me, you can give me a like on this video if you don't want to buy anything from my shop, which I totally understand. Likes and interaction and comments help me out. And then also I do have a small business on the side as well. So I just want to throw that out there. And let's get started with this project. I cannot believe I'm finally showing this to you guys. So like I said, I did not expect to have a living room makeover video. I expected this to just be like a couple quick clips of cleaning it up and decorating this room. I did not expect this to be the project that we discovered once diving into this house. Now, this project is the most expensive out of any of the rooms. Like, I don't even think the kitchen is going to cost as much as this cost, which I would not do again. This is a project that came out super cute, but if I knew what I knew getting into it, I don't know if I would have done it. But so I did not get the best before footage of this. I got a before shot from like long tallways for like TikTok, in case I want to do a before and after TikTok, because again I thought it was just decorating. But I did get our, we did a house tour and I showed you this big living room. It's a really large room itself, which is a little intimidating to tackle as a project. But my thought was, when you walk into the room where the big built-in bookcases would be where you put the TV, so that you see the TV from the kitchen, you see it from outside if you're outside grilling. You can also walk in the room and see just like a movie theater moment and everything. So we started the project off by wanting to knock out that built-in bookcase. It's really odd in the middle of the room. You already have the built-ins on the wall, like wood built-ins that are nice and uniform. So it seemed odd that there was just a random small bookcase in the wall. So we decided, first things first, we're going to rip it out, because why is there a bookcase blocking off my room? And turns out when we got into it, that was a lot harder to take off than originally expected. He started knocking out the boards. Cortland started knocking out the boards and then tried to take the sides off, which he ended up taking an oscillating tool and cutting in half. And then taking them out. It was easier to take them half at a time, so they'd be screwed at the bottom and screwed at the top. Two separate pieces. So he removed those from the built-in, and then he finally got through the back of the built-in bookcase. Now it turns out that this bookcase was hiding a sewage pipe. Yay for sewage plumbing. Oh my god. It was hiding a plumbing pipe from our upstairs bathroom in our bedroom area. Our upstairs bathroom, apparently the water goes whoosh, right through our living room, and rather than putting it behind the wall, they put it in a built-in bookcase and encased it, which is just so random. Why not put it on the outside of the wall or inside the interior wall? It was in the middle of the room. So this is not it. It's embarrassing, okay? This is embarrassing. I did not expect to find this plumbing pipe right here or to rip the molding off the ceiling, but we're gonna fix it. So by removing the base, it just looked like a regular stapled in built-in. It's not. It is here. This is a whole wood thing with this water pipe, which is our upstairs bathroom pipe, built into a bookcase, which is odd. And then we also have the framing that was smushed into the ceiling. That's an easy fix. Floor can be repaired as well. We have extra boards in this closet. This tore off when trying. And then of course, that's coming off too when trying to get the sides off. So what we decided is we're going to repair the molding at the top. The bottom is fine. And we're going to do the faux brick in the living room that I planned on doing in the kitchen. But there's not much backsplash in the kitchen, so I think in 2 spaces it's going to work. And then I was thinking here, I want the TV here. We're going to buy some boards to support. There's also our cinder block. We're going to build some boards from Home Depot to secure the TV to, and then wrap this in that fake brick as well, but paint this an accented black, kind of like a fireplace type situation, like a chimney, because this is a mess right now. and someone covered it with a fake bookcase. Clever hide, but we did not expect to find plumbing behind that bookcase. We just wanted a flat wall to put a TV on, and that was not going to happen now, which is unfortunate. So we decided, hey, let's not put the TV on this wall. We originally wanted to put the TV on that wall anyways. Even though we found that pipe, we would just make a fake chimney area to re-encase the pipe that we found, and then we would put the TV on top of that anyways. But we ended up not doing that. That ended up just being not the most practical place for the TV, especially because it is cement behind that pipe, and it'll be really hard to get the TV mount holes, no matter what type of screws you use, to just go in there properly without making a ton of noise and a ton of mess. So we decided to move the TV idea to the built-ins already built that had a frame around for a TV. Now, once we decided the TV was not going to go on that wall, and we decided that we were going to tackle hiding this pipe, but we didn't want a fake bookcase in the wall because, again, who does that help when there's already built-ins for decorations where the TV is going to be? We decided we were going to re-encase the bookcase and make another faux chimney situation, but let's do a faux brick wall. My original inspiration for doing our kitchen when we were thinking about buying this house was a faux brick wall that I saw on DIY Wife's channel in a kitchen. That's what my plan was, but I decided since this room's already screwed, and when we took out the fake bookcase, we ripped off the trim and everything and made a whole mess. Let's just cover this wall, make it very industrial to match some of the concrete countertops in our office, to match the concrete countertops we plan on doing in the kitchen as well. Let's do some faux brick in the living room to tie in some of that more industrial feel, brick, concrete, that type of thing, especially since the front of our house is a regular red and black brick as it is. We figured we would do some painted brick in the interior to match that aesthetic. Now, we went to Home Depot. Lowe's has these as well, but it's slightly cheaper to go to Home Depot. And we decided to get the faux brick panels. Now, these come in very large sheets, and they're pretty pricey. It's like $43 per sheet. We ended up buying 7, and we used 5 for this project because we decided we were going to wrap the encasement of the plumbing tube in the faux brick, make it a center beam like a faux fireplace situation, like a chimney. And then we're going to do the rest of the walls that we ripped the trim off and everything that were already kind of damaged, wrap that in the faux brick as well. So this took about 2 weeks to get these panels on the wall, and I will tell you that it's because the walls in this house are not even. I think they hired like the cheapest contractors to do the jobs for certain things, like the seam around the ceiling, right? On half of the boards or half of the room, it's lower than on the other half. So the way the ceiling is like this, it's tilted. So when you have to measure the boards to cut, you can't cut them all the same height. They need to be adjusted per the room being at an angle. We also had to adjust for the brick panels lining up so there wouldn't be a seam when they were put onto the walls, but there was one anyways, and that's just how it is. But it took about a week for that, and then we also had to make sure that the center boards, the side pieces, and the front pieces matched up so that they could be encased and encase the plumbing situation. Okay, so the first piece is up, right? And there is a hole cut out for the outlet and everything. The issue is there's only studs in the bottom part of the wall because there's concrete block behind it. I guess they just didn't bother putting it through it, so it's not sticking properly with just the short screws put in. So we have a ton of liquid nails. We're gonna try that, as well as just getting longer screws to go through the drywall that's there before it gets the cement block. So that's the plan. It's gonna be another process to get it up, but it looks really cool. And we're gonna mortar it, and then we're gonna paint it, and it's gonna be so pretty. This part is what worries me because you gotta get the side pieces on. You also gotta get the main piece on and make sure everything's even. The bookcase built-in thing is not even, so it's gonna be like a little bit of buffering because you can see there's a gap in between here because it's just not straight. So that's gonna be fun, but overall it looks really cool in the wall so far. Now, I decided that the majority of this house is a very light gray. It's Gravity by Valspar. Valspar. It's Gravity by Valspar, and that's the majority of our house, is just this very light, soft gray. But I wanted this wall, since it is going to be a faux brick, it's already going to be different than the rest of the house. I wanted this to stand out with a really bold punch of contrast. So I decided that the center column of the fake chimney situation was going to be black matte paint, and then the wall of brick was going to be white, because I feel like a lot of people paint brick white, and I kind of wanted that bright contrast, especially because you can still see the texture on it. Now, all the bricks on these panels that you buy from Home Depot are flat. They're just flat designs, no texture. It makes it look more fake. So we decided to buy a giant bucket of mortar, like actual stone mortar that you would do to build a real chimney, build a fireplace, build a house, anything with stonework. You're gonna need a lot of mortar to, you know, clay clamp these things together. And we decided we were going to mortar the entire wall, including the chimney part, fake chimney part, and mortar it to give it texture, like it was actually a real piece of brick, like the exterior of the house is. Okay, it's early morning, another day, and I have the joint compound. When I tell you this huge bucket took me like 10 minutes to get open, that's not an exaggeration. It took me forever to get it open. But I'm gonna start the spackling thing. It's a joint compound used to like make bricks stick together and stuff. We're using the real stuff instead of like a mortar because I want it to look realistic. I'm gonna try to leave the actual flat bricks pretty clean and more of the chunkiness in between the bricks where it would be traditionally. I got a whole tray supported with my arm because this stuff is heavy. And I'm hoping I do a good job, because if not, that's like a whole thing I don't want to talk about. I have no idea if this is gonna look good or not. It's hard to actually get it in between. I wish my husband had picked up a smaller one of these. It's hard to actually get it in between the bricks. Okay, so I painted myself a sample once it dried to see if I liked it, and I don't. Here's my sample. I just painted white over it. First of all, the white's trash paint, so you can see through it. But I don't think I like it very much. There, with the light on. Do we like it? It's okay, right? It's like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Alright, so both the walls are white. This one needs a second coat. This one is done. This centerpiece needs to be secured to the top, just finely tuned and then painted black. Also got this cute gift. So thank you, Scott M, for this cute little gift from my Amazon thing. That was an enormous project to take on. The mortaring was so much work because, first of all, when you mortar, you gotta make sure that you smooth off the front faces of the bricks so you can still see the brick texture and you're not just covering it. You also gotta make sure that the messy part that is typical in kind of bricks and stonework is in between mostly, not on the faces. Like I said, you gotta clean the faces. And then also by adding these ridges and textures and ups and downs and little ridges and nooks in this textured mortar, it ended up taking like 5, 6, 7, 8 times more time to paint these panels. Now we ended up not doing mortar on the center column because that went up last, and I was tired of mortaring at that point, and the black already was gonna get rid of a lot of detail being a black. So we mortared the white walls. And the texture, whereas it was kind of fun, it does look kind of fun when you like go up to, if you want to feel the wall, it does feel like real stone. It was so much work, you know, just splattering the hard, heavy stuff. There was a lot for my hand. And then going over it and have to paint between every nook and cranny in that texture was a lot of work as well, like I said. So that took a lot of time. I'd say it took about a week to have everything painted properly. But that was the main wall situation. That was the biggest project in this house so far. But that's not it for the living room, because again, we have a very big living room. So let's talk about the built-ins. So the built-ins that came in this room were just a standard brown, like vinyl coated wood situation. Now, something I noticed as I went to go paint these, because obviously I wasn't leaving it this honey wood color, is that every like drawer. It's not a drawer. Every cabinet, every face of the cabinet that you would, you know, open, they were all a different finish, a different pattern in the wood grain. So they were all probably bought at different times, or they were like clearance pieces of wood, and someone just said, hey, let's just stain them the same color and make them work, because they were not the same grain patterns, wood types at all. They just had the same stain color to them. So that was something unique that I said early on in that project that was kind of weird. Now, I fell in love with the original handles that were on, the original knobs that were on these built-ins. I thought they looked so cool. They were very pretty and a nice color. So I wanted to keep those when we redid this built-in situation because it was just very pretty. So I removed all of the hardware from these except for the hinges, obviously that the doors on, and I decided to paint it black. Now, the only paint that I had on hand at that time was a pre-mixed flat black Glidden paint from Walmart, which I would never suggest in a million years, you guys, because every time you touch something, the paint wants to come off. It's not a very good paint. I could have primed beforehand, but it was supposed to be a paint and primer and it was just ugly, and I just wanted to use the paint that I already had. But I would suggest using a more high quality paint or priming before doing some like laminate wood situation like that, you know, for future tense situations. But I removed the handles, I painted everything in a matte black. It took 3 coats of this, again, because it was just really cheap paint, not good quality. So that took a while, and I painted all of the built-in drawers, not built-in drawers, all the built-in cabinets, all the built-in shelving, and there were a lot of shelves. Now, I took out one of these shelves that was in the bottom of the center built-in situation because it just did not match up and it was not much space in between those. Those 2 pieces were very narrow, and something that was very important to me during this process was keeping the trim. Now, on these built-ins, there was like a fine amount of like a leaf pattern, pretty trim detail along the edges that I really enjoyed. So I wanted to keep those as much as I could in these built-ins. Once the built-ins were painted black and everything was beautiful and I put the handles back on the built-in cabinets, it was time to paint the walls in the room other than like, you know, the big brick project that we already took on. It was time to paint the rest of the walls. Now, this was a big project because it's a lot of gray paint. There's a lot of nooks and crannies. There's like a header throughout the center, or the entry of the office that had to be taken around like one side, the underneath, and the other side, as well as all of the walls in that area. Now, this was a staple gray. Again, Valspar's Gravity is the shade that I used, and this did not take as long as I expected because honestly, that process of painting everything gray was way easier than the process it was of taking on that brick textured wall paint job. So that part was pretty easy for me to handle. And then it came time to handle the fish tank situation. So we had a fish tank. We had a 36-gallon rounded front fish tank, and we decided to upgrade this. Now, if you saw a weekend vlog, I believe I put it in a weekend vlog, we talked about upgrading our fish tank. We bought a new fish tank and everything. We put it where an electric stove once was in our living room on this tile platform. Now, we were going to paint the tile platform. We still plan on doing that, but we have not done that as of yet. But I don't think it's that big of a deal to hinder finishing this video finally. But we put an upgraded fish tank in the living room between 2 sconces on the wall, which I thought was a really good selling point. It's like for placement, you know, 2 sconces and you have a fish tank in the middle. I thought it was a really good placement since there was an electric fireplace there at some point anyways. I just feel like we already had that sturdy step made of solid concrete. Let's use it with something very heavy, like 75 gallons of water, which is very heavy. We used my old TV stand, which we called Cortez. It reminded me of American Horror Story Cortez. We took the legs off because it was just too much, put it directly on the center thing, and there's our fish tank. We already had a stand for the fish tank. It worked out well. It actually fit up there really nicely as well. And the only issue was that sometimes when I have the fish food underneath the Cortez and I push open the cabinet to open, it does drag a little bit on the bottom, but it's really not that bad. But it gives you a nice center point in the room because you have French doors, then you have fish tank, a little window, and then French doors to our office. So I think it really works out in that area. But after everything was painted, we have our new fish tank up. It was time for my favorite part, which is decorations. And we also had to put the TV up since we broke our original TV in the move. It was tragic. It was my husband's most prized possession, I think, other than me, you know? He loves his TV so much, and he put a new one on a credit card because he just really, really wanted one. So I let him have his TV. That was the first decoration that was like important to him. So I let him have that. But then it was time for my fun decorations and also pushing the couch back to the farthest corner of the room, because why would you need your couch in the center? You know, like I've been told maybe to push the couch forward and put it in the center of the room, but then I have to walk in between, and that just doesn't work for me. So we pushed it all the way to the corner of the room, especially since the TV is large anyways. You don't have to be that close up to it. So when it came to decorating, my favorite part. So when we did the built-ins near the TV, I put a bunch of my orange decor. This is a lot of my classic vintage Halloween decor that we put in there, and I just think it looks super cute. My orange, spooky, cutesy, vintage Halloween inspired stuff, and some of it's actually vintage, are just my favorite things. And I wanted those things to be kind of consolidated in a room. We have a little bit of orange throughout other rooms as well, just to make everything work. But the majority of my color in my house was going to be in the living room, and I think it worked out really well. I think all my little blow mold friends and everything look nice in the built-ins, like my small ones, as well as some like small estate sale finds that go in the center built-in near the TV. And then on the faux brick wall, I decided to put all my blow mold friends and some of my plug-in light up friends. So we have a bunch of my blow molds, like my cat, my bear, my big ghost blow mold. We have my Sam animatronic standing on top of a doormat to cover the place where there's no flooring, where the built-in bookcase used to be. We just have like a bunch of my little big tall friends over there, and I think it's gonna be a good place to fill things in over time. But after everything was decorated, that's pretty much it for the living room. And now I'm gonna show you the big reveal. Let's do a walkthrough big reveal together. All right, reveal time. I also have this beautiful entryway situation going on, but into the living room, ignoring the office, we've already covered that in a separate video. Right when you walk in, we have a little Sam candy dish on this little plant stand from Target. We have a lantern and little Halloween spin wheel. Let's see your Halloween of fortune. Okay, so it says focus on your mind and spin again. I don't know why we're playing this game right now. You have a heart of gold, it says. So when you walk in, this is the entryway. We have a little owl from Ikea just to hold this door open when it's open. And then we have this guy. On the right hand side, we have a little doormat, and then our double doors to the outside. Over here we have our fish tank. We did not paint this tile yet, we will. But here's the stand situation we have going on at the moment with our fish inside. We have some little sharky guys over here. They like to swim together. And I don't know where our crawfish are at the moment. We don't have too much in here. Down here we have Akasha's little baby bed that she loves, and a jack-o'-lantern that I got from a estate sale. And then here is the office entryway with a little moon man. Above the fish tank there are the sconces. And then here is the majority of the living room. It's a huge room. It is a huge room. Like, it's a big room. So right here we have just some little pumpkin decorations, and we have the big TV that was so unnecessary, but my husband wanted it. Some spooky decorations. I put this little Old Salem brooms on here just to hide some cords, but our cords are routed through here. A little foam pumpkin guy from the 90s that I got from an estate sale. And then here are my Halloween spooky decorations, center points. These will be adjusted and moved and changed around and stuff, but this is how they are for the moment being. Isn't this so cute? Look at my little happy corner, you guys. I love how the knobs, the original knobs, look on the black cabinets. And then we have a little baby bed that the cats don't really use, but it looked cute there. I love this little point. And then moving on to the rest of the room. Here is the faux brick wall. Do we like it? So over here we have just some decorations, a closet that contains our Wi-Fi box as well as an air conditioning unit. And I know the floors need to be mopped in here, but I have to scrape all that off. But here are some blow molds. I'm hoping to get more blow molds to fill in these gaps so I can hide the outlets and such. We have a Sam animatronic and some more little blow moldy pieces, as well as a foam pumpkin and a little ceramic ghost. Here is the black and white brick beside each other. We still have the seam on this side, but the other ones aren't as bad. And this piece came out really solid. Like, it looks good compared to like that bookcase thing that was here. That was a mess. Back there you see tan because I haven't painted that closet bathroom situation yet. We have a little stand. We didn't buy any furniture for this house yet, which is good, you know, because we're trying to use what we have. So we already had this little stand, and I just put some orange decorations on it that we had. We have a cauldron with extra blankets and my little Louis Plague Doctor Squishmallow. And then, oh my goodness, hello. And then over here we have our couch. Hi, Asri. And a coffee table situation. Coffee table was one from Amazon, and we ended up just fixing it, spray painting it up. Spray painted the sides gold, used lacquer, and sealant on the top to make it black because it was light tan. We just have some blankets, remote controls, a cauldron with peanut butter M&Ms, coasters, pillows, blankets. We have this blanket on the top of the couch that's like actually a Snuggie. The cats just like to make biscuits on it, so I leave it up there. And then, yeah, this is a surround of the living room. Now, it's been suggested that we pull the couch out from the wall like it was originally, but I feel like that's gonna block the walkway. But here is the overall living room finale. Eventually we're gonna need to put some stuff on this wall and some stuff on the fake brick. But I think it came out very cute. We also need to soak these in a paint stripper because they're painted like the original wall color was. But I think overall this room came out way better than expected. Alright, so what did you guys think of the living room reveal? I hope you guys liked it. I mean, I like it. I think it came out very well. However, this was a monumental project that took over a month to complete. Like, this project started on day 3 of us moving in, before we even had before we had internet in the house. And then it's taken to this point to finally get it complete, but I'm so happy that it is. I think it turned out really nice. I think it fits my style very well, and then again, on the big faux brick wall, I think it leaves me room to expand my blow mold collection in the future, you know, which I'm always here for. I'm so here for that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, again, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't down below. Share this with your friends if you think they would like this project or some techniques that we did in this video, since we did take on a bunch of different things, restoring, altering a existing built-in, and doing a faux brick wall and everything. Share it if you think they like it, and of course you can check out my small business, theopencrypt.com. I'd appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'm just so happy to show it to you finally. I feel like I've been waiting to talk about this project forever.